back to my channel. If you are new here, this week's video is going to be one of the funner videos that I've ever created on my channel. I am going to be doing a thing where I have a random number generator on a wheel pick out how many hours I read per day for the entire week. And I'm going to do it between 1 hour and 10 hours because I work and I also want to sleep. And I wake up at 5 in the morning, and I have other chores and things I need to do throughout the day. So I feel like the best course of action is to do between 1 hour and 10 on the weekdays, and then once the weekend comes over, we'll do maybe between 1 and 12 hours, and then we'll spin the wheel, we'll pick out how many hours I read for the day, and from there we will go on and read for that amount of hours, and then we'll go on for the rest of the day like that for the rest of the week. So I hope you enjoy, and without further rambling, because you know me, I don't like to ramble, let's get on with the video and see how many hours I read this week. In the end, I will total all the numbers of hours, how many hours I read per day for the entirety of the week. And I think this should be very interesting. So let's continue watching. We're gonna do between hours 1 and 10, and whatever the wheel picks is how many hours I will read for today. And I'm praying for less than 5 hours. I'm just coming off of a 24-hour readathon, and I do not want to burn myself out. So please, 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 please. Oh, I'm so nervous. Oh! We're gonna be reading for 1 hour today. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's so exciting. That's so exciting. Today we are going to be reading for 1 hour. I'll probably be reading If He Had Been With Me by Laura Allen. I don't know what this book is about, but I know that it is heart-wrenching and sad and very heartbreaking. And I'm so excited that I'm going to be reading for 1 hour because, damn, am I about to be burned out if I would have read for more than 1 hour. So I'm going to get off. I'm going to read for 1 hour, and then I will come back to you and we'll update it, and then we will spin the wheel again tomorrow. The universe really had my back with that one. I manifested that. That's 1 hour. We have officially finished 1 hour, and I have started If He Had Been With Me by Laura Allen, and I am on page 89 on chapter 21. I didn't get to read much. Honestly, it's a very, very interesting book. I've never read anything quite like this. The writing is interesting. The story is interesting. I like the relationship between the main character and the guy character. I'm not really sure how it's going to be sad enough to make me cry, because I don't really feel all that attached to the characters. It's written in a very distinct way. That's the best way I can describe it. Very distinct to the point where it doesn't really match any other story that I've read. The writing is very distinct, very its own, and it's interesting. Keeps things interesting. The story is interesting. It feels weird to be reading about high schoolers because they're just so young and they're doing such stupid stuff all the time. I like the relationship between Finn and Autumn, and I'm enjoying the book. It's very interesting, very easy to read. I read it a little bit slower in the beginning, but then it picked up as the story picked up naturally. And I'm going to be continuing to read this tomorrow for however long the timer says I need to read. But as of right now, I'm done. I'm finished. It is 1:30 p.m. And I will see you tomorrow when the wheel decides how many hours I'm going to be reading for the day. I got 5 hours today on the number generator. I got 5 hours today. So I have been reading. I have been reading the If He Had Been With Me by Laura Allen, and I am now on page 156. I'm kind of not loving it. Like, is that a sin to say? I'm enjoying it, but it's not anything special. I feel like maybe the hype has ruined it for me. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not really, like, dying over the characters or loving the characters all that much. Like, I love their friendship. I love their relationship. I love, like, the pining and yearning and the stupidity of being a teenager and in high school and being in love. So that part of it is interesting, but I wouldn't say I would die for these characters. And I feel like it was overhyped to the point where I was like, oh, I'm going to die for these characters and this is going to rip my heart out of my chest. Maybe I'll eat my words later. I don't know. As of right now, I'm enjoying it, but I'm not dying over it, if that makes any sense. Basically 2.5 hours left of the 5 hours. We can all thank the Spotify audiobooks for that, because I started the Don't You Forget About Me novel by Mary McFarlane. I have listened to quite a lot of this. I have 7.5 hours left of it, and I am enjoying it. I don't know what this book is about, to be honest, and I didn't know what it was about when I picked it up, but it was in my want to listen to, and I have a few hours left of my audio book time on Spotify from doing the 24-hour readathon. So I decided to pick this one up. I heard it gets a little bit spicy. I'm not sure. I saw it on an Instagram post and it seemed a little bit interesting. It's about this girl who has everything going wrong in her life basically so far. The whole entire audiobook is 10 hours and 17 minutes. So I've listened to quite a few, maybe like 3 hours plus of this audiobook, and I'm enjoying it. I listened to it while I was at work, so that while the timer was going while I was working, I was actually reading basically. So yeah, I have read a little bit of this, listened to a little bit of my audiobook. It is 11:23 right now. I'll probably end up finishing this today because I only have like 150 pages left. This book is 327 pages, 328 pages, so 330 pages, yeah. So I don't have much left. I'm almost halfway through. Like I said, I'm 156 pages in, and I will probably finish it in the 2.5 hours that I have left. And then maybe I'll listen to a bit more of the audiobook, or I'll pick up an ebook or a physical book. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We have so much more time left to go. And after I finish, I will probably be spinning the wheel for tomorrow's time tonight, like I did last night, because I spun the wheel last night because I didn't know if I would have time today before work. Spinning it tonight so I know what to prepare for tomorrow. You know? Okay, so I'll stop rambling. We'll stop talking about this. And so far, so good. Had an hour yesterday, 5 hours today. I don't know if I get 10 hours tomorrow. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Hey besties, I have been listening to my audiobook. I didn't listen to it while I was at the gym because I feel like listening to an audiobook while I'm at the gym makes me suffer throughout my workout and I don't have a good time and I'm not paying attention to the audiobook. I have an hour and 30-ish minutes left of these 5 hours. I have been listening, like I said, to my audiobook, which is Don't You Forget About Me, and I have 6 hours and 7 minutes left. I'm on chapter 17 and out of 45, so I'm 40% in, which is crazy because I did not think I had that much left on my audiobook time on Spotify. And watch me, literally after I'm done with this, it's gonna be like, you're out of hours, and then I'm in Spotify jail and I have to go on my library and check out an audiobook. But yeah, as of right now, it is, like I said, 3:07. It says if I continue to read from now until the timer is up, then that would put me at 4:39 p.m. And that sounds pretty good to me. That doesn't feel like a lot considering I just did a 24-hour readathon like 2 days ago. So this feels like nothing. I'm glad I had audiobook time because I feel like I would not have been able to finish these hours had I not listened to my audiobook. I don't care if you don't think that audiobook is reading, because audiobooks are reading. Like, what do you mean? I'm ingesting the story. I know what's going on, you know, like I'm enjoying it, you know. Oh, as for the audiobook, I don't think I updated you on how I feel about it. I'm not really feeling anything about it, to be honest. It's just like a fun, silly story about a girl who is literally just got fired from her job and her boyfriend, not boyfriend technically in quotations, cheated on her, and she's older. I believe she's 30 and her life is going wrong and everything is going wrong and we're just listening to her. I believe it's going to be an enemies to lovers because 40% in and we just met the guy that I think she's going to end up with, but they don't get along because she hears him talking shit about her and pretending that he doesn't know her because he was in high school with her and then he didn't see her for the longest time and now she's back working with his brother in the same bar that he owns, and his brother, you know, she hears him and his brother talking shit about her and she's like, oh, he doesn't want me to work here. So I think it's going to be an enemies to lovers. I'm not really sure. I'm not really invested in their relationship right now, and I'm not really invested in the main character either. I don't know how many stars this has on Goodreads, but like I said, I found it on an Instagram post and it said that it was a good audiobook. So I'm going to get off and I don't think I'm going to listen to my audiobook for any longer. I have, like I said, an hour and 32 minutes and I believe that should be enough time for me to finish If He Had Been With Me, which is interesting because I did not think I would be finishing it today. The story is going okay. Like I don't know if I talked about it earlier today, but like I said, I'm also not attached to those characters all that much either. It just feels like a very young and juvenile story. And while it's good and the writing is interesting, because I don't know, like I'm not used to that type of writing, I am not dying, screaming, crying, throwing up for those characters. And I don't really potentially care if they don't end up together. I don't know. As of right now, I think we're standing at a 3.5 star review. I don't know. That feels bad because the book is so popular and so well loved. Yeah, I'm going to get off and stop yapping, and then I'll read and I'll update you about how I feel about if he had been with me. And then if I have a little bit of time left, I don't think I'm going to listen to my audiobook at all for the rest of the day. If maybe I need to do something, I'll listen to it, but I think I'm going to pick up an ebook after I finish If He Had Been With Me, because I don't have any more physical books. So I need to go to the library at some point this week. So that's it. And like I said, once I finish with the timer for today, I will probably be spinning for the timer tomorrow, so I know what to prepare and how to mentally prepare if I get like 10 hours. Please, Lord, I am not manifesting that. I'm not manifesting that. It's not going to be 10 hours. It's not. There's no way. Imagine how many books I can finish in 10 hours. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How many books do we think I can finish in 10 hours? Should I do a challenge where I do that? I'm not doing that, okay? I'm going to get off. I'm going to stop yapping before I manifest something I don't need. I really thought I didn't care for these characters, guys. It's so not fair. I finished this cursed book. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't. Because why? Why in actual hell would you do this? I don't understand. What is wrong with people? Why are you writing a book? I just want to talk. Put on your location. Turn on your location. I just want to pull up and talk. Thought I didn't give a shit about these characters, and then I got attached to them, and then in 10 pages everything went to shit, and now I'm sad and I'm crying. So that's great. I'm so pissed. Literally the most unfair thing that could possibly happened. I understand now. I get it. I understand why people are crying over this book. Personally, I feel like I could bawl my eyes out for another 3 hours. I'm not quite finished. I will probably be crying the minute I turn off this camera and stopped talking. I'm talking so I don't have time to cry, because I don't want to cry. I haven't cried in a minute since Beach Read, I believe. So I'm good. I don't need to be crying. I don't need to be sad. I don't want to do none of that shit. Keep that away from me. But I am so hurt. My heart hurts and my soul hurts. And how dare you? These people loved each other so much. They spent actual years of their life, actual years out of their lives that they've loved each other. And then just for that shit to happen in the last 10 pages. I'm so annoyed. I'm so pissed. I'm so hurt. I'm so upset. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't even want to look at this book anymore. I don't. This might be a little bit dramatic, but I'm so frustrated because I just started to care about these characters, and then you're going to do this. And I don't even know who the second book is about, the sequel or the companion novel. I don't really know. I don't know who it's about. Everyone is saying that it's from a different POV, but not the POV that everyone wanted. I don't think it's Finney. So saying his name hurts. I don't know who else we could get their POV. Like, I don't know. I can't really talk about this without, spoiling it. So yeah, if you want a gut-wrenching read, I don't even want to look at you right now. I'm so upset. If you want an upsetting read, a heart-wrenching read, a read that will have you questioning why life is so cruel and why everything sucks and why nothing matters ever. I'm having an existential crisis right now. Please don't take this seriously. Yeah, I finished this book. I'm giving it 3.75 stars. Let's leave it at that. Between 3.75 and 4 stars, because that's what I can give it right now without, I'm gonna bawl if I look at it. I'm probably gonna be crying about this later tonight in my meditation or when I'm trying to go to sleep, because why is life so cruel? Like, what sucks the most is that this happens in real life, like this actually happens. This isn't just fictionalized shit, like this is actual real life things that happen to actual people because people go through these types of things. I'm gonna shut up about it. It's now 4:28 p.m. I have exactly 20 minutes left. I think what I'm going to do next is pick up Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home. Just for today, since I only have 20 minutes and I'm already reading this for a different video, I'm gonna pick it up and read it so I can forget about the shit show that is this. I don't even want to look at it. Don't talk about it. Don't ask me about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't. I won't talk about it. So don't come at me with none of that. I'm glad it's done. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad I don't have to read it again or think about it. I probably won't be reading the sequel either, or the companion novel, whatever it is. Anyways, I'm gonna go read this for shits and giggles and pain because this is also gonna hurt my feelings and I know that. So let's start the timer again. We're officially done with the 5 hours for the day. I have read a good old chunk. Not really. I'm on page 32. That means I read 12 pages in the 20 minutes because I was busy trying to get myself together from the shit show that is the book previous to this. Let's move on and spin the wheel for what is gonna be my reading time for tomorrow. Let's spin the wheel of fortune and pray for a good fortune. Please, Lord. I am so scared. I am vomiting, throwing up, screaming, crying. Oh my God, 2 hours, guys, 2 hours. That is more than doable. That is more than doable. I am more than happy with that. I'm okay with that. I'm good. Like, you know what? That's crazy. It was in the middle between 2 and 3. What? I don't have anything to read though. That's the issue. I'm going to have to pick up an ebook because I don't have any physical books, and I'm planning to go to the library at some point throughout this week. I want to say Wednesday, maybe Thursday. This shit show of a day has been over. Who would have thought I would cry in my 3rd video on this damn channel? Lord, the amount of, I'm telling you, I cry over 75% of the books that I read. No, that's a little exaggerated. I cry over maybe 40, 50% of the books that I read. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's it. That's it for the day. Thank you so much for watching. It is now 4:54. Potentially, hear me out, I could listen to an hour of my audiobook and then pick up another book for an hour, like an ebook or something. Or I could just pick up an ebook for 2 hours and call it a day. 2 hours is nothing. I'm so overjoyed. I love reading, but I also don't want 10 hours on a weekday when I have work. So, you know, if I get it on the weekend, then it would be fine. Let me not say that and manifest that into my reality. So far, the universe has been looking out for me. Good karma, my aesthetic, as Miss Ariana Grande once said. So I finished the reading timer for the day, Bared to You. It's by Sylvia Day, and I DNF'd it within the first 70 pages because it was very insta-lovey. Like, he just met her, and the first thing he says to her is like, what would it take for us to sleep together? And he doesn't even know her. He met her once, like at an elevator, because somebody dropped something and she went to pick it up. So I was like, this is not for me. This is not for me. It has very high ratings on Goodreads, but I just didn't find it very interesting. Like I said, I read 60 pages, and then once I decided that I just wasn't in the mood for an insta-love, insta-lust type of story, I just quit and I didn't really continue. Instead, I got this ebook, which is something that has been on my TBR I put it on my TBR 5 years ago. It's called The Dark Between the Stars, and it's by Atticus Poetry. This is what it looks like. I'll put a picture of it right here. It was very interesting, very beautiful. I gave it 3.75 stars, but there were so many different poems that I ended up bookmarking because I wanted to continue to look back at them in the future. And it's like, if you love love and you love pure, beautiful love and poems about love, then you would love it. I enjoyed it very much. I had a lot of fun reading it. It took up a lot of my time for the day for reading because obviously I started it and I finished it, and I believe it was 230 pages on my iPad. So that took a lot of my time. And then I also listened to my audiobook, which I listened to on my way to work and on my way home from work. And I believe I'm like 50% in at this point. I have 4 hours and a half 4 hours and 45 minutes left. I'm on chapter 23 out of 45. Like I said, I'm enjoying it. It's interesting, it's funny. It got a little bit funnier. Like, there are moments where I find myself giggling out loud, but it's not anything special, to be honest. I don't think I would have missed anything had I not read it or listened to it, but it's fun to pass the time, and it's good because if I get, say, like 8 hours of reading, 7 hours of reading, then I can just listen to an audiobook while I do my other stuff at work, so I'm not just sitting there, you know, waiting. And then that was it for the day. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have any more audiobook time left, and if I don't on Spotify, then I'll probably try to find the audiobook on Libby, which is the app that my library uses for audiobooks. So that's what I'll probably do. It was a very easy day today. Tomorrow is Wednesday, March 6th. Today is Tuesday, March 5th, obviously. We're gonna find out how many hours I'm going to read for tomorrow. Everybody wish for something easy. It's okay, tomorrow isn't even that busy. So it's okay if I get a lot of hours. Oh my god, I'm scared. What does that say? 2 hours? Well, I'm not gonna complain. Like, didn't I read for 2 hours today? Not really sure what I'm gonna be reading. I did get another book today. It's called Quiet. I'll put a picture of it right here. So I'll probably end up reading that, or I have Bride on my iPad. I also have by Ali Hazelwood. I also have Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I have, what else do I have? I have the first book in the Addicted series. I also have the first book in the Elsie Silver. I also have Done and Dusted. So I could potentially read any of those, but also at the same time, I don't want to start a new series. That's why I'm going for like standalones, because I'm already in the middle of 21 series. Tomorrow will be 2 hours of reading. I'll see you tomorrow once I decide what I'm going to read. I am finished with my reading for the day, so I have some things to say. I actually forgot what I read. I didn't. I actually remember a little bit. Hold on. Let me think on it for a second. In the beginning, I said I was going to read the book Calm by Fern something. So today is not my caffeine day because I'm only drinking caffeine on certain days of the week, and I wasn't drinking caffeine today. So reading that book felt like reading a academic article that I did not want to be reading. I read 50 pages of it and then I stopped. And then I picked up this book called The Fuck It Diet. I'll put a picture of it right here. It's been on my TBR for years and years and years. I read, I believe, 40 pages of that one. And then I also quit because it was just, it was pages of pages of pages of like studies and a bunch of stuff like that. And it was interesting. And while I might pick it up later on in my reading time, I just wasn't in it today because obviously I'm not caffeinated. So reading something like that makes me feel like I'm back at school in bio class. I listened to like maybe 30 minutes of my audiobook, and I have 3 hours of 43 minutes left. I believe yesterday I had 4 and something hours left, and I said I wasn't going to listen to it today. It just so happened that I had nothing to read and I was really bored, and so I just decided to pick it up on a whim and listen to like 30 minutes of it, and by this point I had half an hour left. So I picked up Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood, and I am now on page 35 on chapter 4, and I don't really have much to say about it other than the fact that it's interesting. It's really fun. Ali Hazelwood's writing is really fun to read, really easy to read, really easy to keep up with. I'll probably end up reading some more of it tomorrow. I might end up picking up The Arsonist by Stephanie Oakes. This has been on my TBR for more than 6 years now. It says, it starts with a fire, a diary, a murder. I'm not really sure what this is about. This book is heavy. It's hefty. This book is 493 pages, so almost 500 pages. I put this on my TBR, like I said, forever ago, like 6, 7, 8 years ago at this point. I heard a lot of good things about it. Everybody swears by this, at least the people that I used to watch on BookTube back in the day. Enough to interest me in wanting to read it. I wish I hadn't waited this long to want to read it, but here I am. Better late than never, I guess. Apparently there's a murder, so that's interesting. I'm not really looking forward to reading this book, but I feel like if I've put it on my TBR a very long time ago, then it must have meant something to me and I'll probably want to read it. And if not, I can always DNF it and move on to the next book. But I'll probably end up splitting my time tomorrow between this book and Check and Mate, depending on how many hours I have, which, speaking of how many hours I have tomorrow, let's check, why don't we? Tomorrow will be Thursday the 7th. Every time I do this, I feel like I'm being drafted for a war. Like, awaiting my draft number. Okay, we're gonna do 5 hours tomorrow, so that will mean I will probably end up either finishing this or getting quite a bit through of it. I'm gonna make this my priority just because I want to get it out of the way. I have books that I'm more excited for than this, so for right now, I'm gonna get into this and then we'll see where we go from there for tomorrow. 5 hours is a very long time. I'll probably end up listening to my audiobook a little bit too, honestly, at this point. And I did check my library, my Libby audiobook app, and they do have the audiobook on there, so even if I don't finish it on Spotify because my hours run out, then I can always download it on Libby. Lord, it's gonna be a long day tomorrow. I have been reading. I have this much left. 2 hours and 39 minutes. As you guys saw yesterday, the timer said that I would be reading for 5 hours today, and so I spent my entire morning basically listening to the last 2 hours and 45 minutes of the audiobook that I had, which is Don't You Forget About Me. I finished it. I've given it 3.75 stars. It's okay. It's not anything life-changing. You wouldn't be missing anything if you didn't read it. Like I said, it was just something that caught my attention on an Instagram post. I believe I listened to it for maybe 3 days and then I finished it. I did end up running out of Spotify hours, so I have no more Spotify hours. I had to borrow it from Libby, which is the library audiobook ebook thing, app, I guess. And I listened to the rest of it and I finished it, and it was the last, I want to say 30% of the book was a lot more entertaining than the first half of the book, 70% of the book. I enjoyed it. It was very fun to listen to. It made me laugh. I enjoyed the relationship between the two main characters. It's very enemies to lovers, but they used to be lovers. So I guess exes to enemies to lovers, something like that. Yeah, it was very interesting. Not really the best thing I've ever listened to, not the worst thing I've listened to. I am going to pick up this manga, and I don't really know what it's about. I saw it on the Goodreads app. Everybody was talking about it. I saw the art of it, and I thought it was interesting. This is what it is. It's called Sakamoto Days? Sakamoto Days? Yeah. Sakamoto? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about this. I don't know what it's about. It seems a little bit interesting, and I know that I usually read mangas a lot quicker than I read regular books, and I have the first 5 volumes of this that I borrowed from my library, so I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to read it, and then once I'm done with this, then I'm going to pick up Far From You, which I love this cover. So cute. This book is by Tess Sharp. I marked this book as a TBR on November 22nd, 2017. 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago. That's a crime against humanity to put a book on my TBR for that long. So, I don't know what this book is about. Like I said, oh boy, it's a thriller, it says. So, oh, wait a minute. Huh? Wait. I think there's oh my god, one of the characters in here, her name is Mina. That's literally my name. What? That's crazy. I see my name in here so many times. That's wild. Reading, oh my god, what? Oh my god, what is this book about? I thought this was a cute romance, but it says the truth won't let her go. So I guess we'll find out. I'm scared now. Yeah. What? To make matters worse, no one is looking in the right places, so Sophie must search for Mina's murderer on her own. I was murdered! Are we okay? Why am I reading this? Why am I... Anyways, these are the plan. I'll get back to you probably when I finish this or both, or when I finish the timer. As of right now, like I said, we have 2 hours and 37 minutes, 2 hours and 38 minutes, something like that. I'm gonna get back into it because as of right now, it is Thursday the 7th and it is 2:07 p.m. I'm gonna go read and then I'll get back to you. video 4 and I have an hour and 40 minutes left. I have finished Sakamoto Days. I don't know how to say the name. I really should look that up. If you're like me and you like reading mangas, I think you would very much enjoy this. I gave this 4.5 stars. It's about this man who is an ex-hitman who fell in love and he stopped being a hitman, and he owns this store, this shop, and this guy over here comes to kill him, and instead of killing him, he ends up working for him in that exact store, and now they're both two ex-hitmen working in the store that the older man owns with his wife and his kid, because he fell in love. That's why he quit. And he got married, he got fat, but he's still very much into the like hitman like processes, so he's very quick still on his feet. And in one of the panels, he actually he loses all his weight and he becomes skinny again because apparently his body burnt a lot of calories mid-fight, which is really funny. I found this very funny. Like I said, I gave it 4.5 stars. I very much enjoyed it. It was very fun to read, very easy to read. Definitely if you want to get your Goodreads reading goal like ahead of the schedule, read a lot of mangas. That's volume 1, done and out of the way. I'll probably end up reading volume 2 tomorrow. Will never be Jujutsu Kaisen, will never be Chainsaw Man, or Spy Family, but still fun, still cute. I'm gonna get into this. 341 pages. Let's get into it. Let's read it, and we'll go from there. What it is about this week, but I am having the worst luck with books. I don't know what's going on. Every time I pick up a book that I have been so excited to read for the longest time, I pick it up, I start it, and then 50 pages in, I'm like, no, I don't want to do this actually. I've just realized that I really don't like this book. That's exactly what just happened with Far From You, I believe it was called. I started it with being like, oh, you know, like hehe, like there's a character with my name in it and blah, blah, whatever, funsies, you know, cute, fun things. I'm not having cute, fun things, you know, like I don't want to be reading a thriller right now, to be honest. I'm doing a video where I read like thrillers, I guess, next week. And so I feel like I'm going to burn out really quick if I read the thriller this week, you know, and then read 5 more next week. As of right now, I'm not really looking forward to reading it, so I've decided to soft DNF it, you know what I mean? Like, I have an hour and 19 minutes left. I've decided in that 1 hour, I'm not going to start a new book because I feel like I've tried my luck enough today with new books, you know, like I soft DNF'd one already and I finished the manga. It's already a very messy day and I feel like I don't want to start another book. Today, I'll probably start another book tomorrow, but as of right now, I don't see myself really starting another book. So I'm going to pick up my iPad, and I'm going to pick up... Well, I started it yesterday. I'm going to pick up Checkmate by Ali Hazelwood. I'm 35 pages in, and I feel like if I don't pick it up today, I'm probably not going to be picking it up tomorrow or over the weekend because I'm home, and I'll want to read a physical book. And I don't really want to start another book when I only have an hour left. And then after I'm done, I'm going to spin for tomorrow's hours, and then we'll go from there. As you can tell, it is nighttime. We are back to roll for tomorrow. I finished my timer. I read until page 106, I believe, of Checkmate. I'm enjoying it a lot. I think that will probably be my focus tomorrow to finish it, or maybe over this weekend, is to finish it before I finish this challenge. I am, I believe, 40% in. I think the ebook has 244 pages. I'm on page 100. So if I read 100 pages tomorrow and 40 pages Saturday, then I'll be done before the end of the challenge. But I'm enjoying it. I love it. I'm kind of questioning how it got away with being marketed towards young adults, because it feels very not young adult. I am enjoying it. It's very easy to read. Ali Hazelwood's writing is always like that, where you can easily read and you're at 100 pages, and I enjoyed myself immensely, and I'm gonna continue enjoying myself. I believe right now, which I can't really rate it right now fairly because I don't know the rest of the story, Right now it sits at a good 4 stars because I'm enjoying it and it reads very quickly and I don't check the time when I'm reading, which is a good thing. With that being said, you know what we're doing because what else is there to do? Let's spin for tomorrow's hours. What is that, 5? Another 5 hours. All right, so another 5 hours tomorrow. Like I said, I will probably be reading the second volume of Sakamoto Days, Check and Mate. Like I said, I want to read 100 pages of Check and Mate, and then I will probably finish this entirety of this volume. Guys, it is the end of the day. It is 9:19 p.m. on Friday, March 8th, and I finished my 5 hours for the day today. I read very quickly. I read a lot today, actually, like a lot. I finished a book. I'm halfway through a book. I'm 80% through a book. So I started the day reading. I actually started another audiobook. I know I said I wasn't going to, but then I realized, like, on my drive to work, I already listened to audiobooks anyway, so I might as well. I got the Assistant to the Villain book. I don't know who it's by right now because I don't want to check. I'm too lazy. I listened to, I believe, 2 hours of that. I got it on Libby because, like I said, I'm out of hours on Spotify. I'm in Spotify jail. So yeah, it's called Assistant to the Villain, and it's by Hannah Nicole Mirror. I want to say I'm 17% in. 2 hours and 21 minutes in out of, I believe it was maybe 13 hours, something like that. Very cute, very funny, very insta-lovey, very insta-lusty. I think it's really cute, actually. It makes me laugh. It's pretty self-explanatory by the title. It's about this girl who lands a job as an assistant to the villain of the book, and it's really funny. It's actually kind of comical. It makes me laugh a lot. I like the characters. I like the premise of it. Kind of silly, kind of goofy, but it's a good time. It's a fun time. I read 100 pages of Check and Mate on my iPad, which is, the book is 244 pages, the ebook. So I read 200 pages. I'm at 200 pages. I read 100 pages today, and I left 44 pages for tomorrow because I want to prolong the reading experience because I'm enjoying it so much. I don't know why I put off this book for so long. I'm enjoying it. Even if you don't like chess, I think you would enjoy it. It's about this girl who stopped playing chess when she was younger for reasons, personal reasons, and then she gets contacted to play in this tournament, and it's basically just about her coming to terms with things that happened in her life and trauma and responsibilities and all of that. And I'm, like, yeah, basically. And she has to play chess and has to come to terms with the feelings that come with playing chess because she used to play when she was younger. And I'm enjoying it a lot. I found myself actually laughing out loud and enjoying the characters a lot. I love the characters. I love the friendships. I love the chess. I don't know if I've said it, but even if you don't like chess, I think you would like this book, and I'm enjoying it. It's actually making me want to play chess, and I suck at chess. I finished the second volume of Sakamoto Days, and I gave this one 4 stars. It's not as fun as the first volume, but I think the first volume just got you introduced to all the characters. It's still ridiculous, still funny, still like actually ridiculous. I finished this in like an hour, I believe, 45 minutes, something like that. I'm telling you, mangas are where it's at if you want to finish your reading goal. I started A Million Junes by Emily Henry. If you know anything about me, you know that I love my queen, Emily Henry. I literally own all of her romance books. This is magical realism. It's about these 2 families that hate each other, that basically have like a rivalry between them because of a certain thing that happens, and the 2 children, the son and the daughter of each respective family, end up meeting, and she has a crush on him and he has a crush on her, but they can't be together because obviously the tension and the drama between their families would not allow it, and we're just reading about it. It's not my favorite Emily Henry book, I will say that, but the banter between the characters feels very, very Emily Henry. The way she describes things feels very Emily Henry. Like, you can read this and be like, yeah, I see that she wrote it. Definitely not my favorite work by her. That might be beach read. But I'm enjoying my time reading this. I'm 50% in. I'm on page 198 on chapter 21 out of 391 pages. I definitely see myself finishing this tomorrow, depending on how many hours I have to read. Very easy read, very easy read. It feels very like whimsical and magical, and like the house has magic in it and it's haunted and you can see spirits, and it feels very strange for Emily Henry. And like, knowing what I know about her romance novels and then trying to think of her also writing this book feels a little weird. I'm enjoying it still. I will probably end up giving it 3.75 stars, if not 3.5 stars, which would be the lowest rating I've ever given an Emily Henry book, but you can't love them all. You root for these characters. They feel very real and very human. To recap, I listened to 2.5-ish hours of Assistant to the Villain, then I read 100 pages of Check and Mate, and then I read the full volume, second volume of Sakamoto Days, and then I read 50% of A Million Junes. And that was a lot of reading. We all know what this means. We gotta spin. Tomorrow's the last day of this challenge. You think the wheel is saying yippee as it spins? Is that deleted? Oh my god, what? Oh my god. Yee, wait. Wow. Wow. Did we only have 1 hour and 5 hour for this entire week? Like, was it an interval of 1 hour, 5 hour, 1 hour? It feels that way. Did I get 2 hours at some point this week? I'm gonna focus on reading the 44 pages that I have left of Check and Mate, and then whatever time I have left, which would probably be 20 minutes, I want to say, if not 10 minutes at that point, I will read this. I will read however many pages I can get through this. That's the plan for tomorrow. I can't believe I got an hour. That's insane. Thank God. Good morning. Today is Saturday, the 9th of March, and today is the last day we are going to do the random number generator picks how many hours I read for. Like you saw yesterday, we got an hour, so today we're going to do an hour. I'm going to focus on this because I really want to finish this first, the A Million Junes by Emily Henry, and then if I run out of the time, then I will still finish this probably, and then we can talk about the wrap up and how many books I read in this week and how many hours I read for. We'll total it. And if I do finish this before the hour is up, then I will read Check and Mate like we agreed on last night. I don't think I'll have enough time on the timer to read Check and Mate. I'll probably still finish it today though, just because I want to read it and I want to finish it and I'm interested in the story, so I'll probably read it outside of this challenge. We're gonna start the timer. I'm gonna get started with this. And I just finished my hour of reading. It went by very quick. I ended up only reading one book, and obviously I thought that was going to happen because there was no way I was going to read 200 pages and then also read another 40 pages. That was never going to be an option. That was never going to be a plan. So we're done. That's it. That's it for this challenge. Let's total up how many hours I've read. Future me in the editing. This is how many hours I read this week. Let's discuss how many books I read in this week. So we have 6 books and started 2. The first book I read for this challenge was on Sunday, which was the If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nowlin, and I gave this 3.75 stars. We all saw my reaction to this. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to remember it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to ever feel this much pain reading a book ever again. It really hurt. The next book I read was The Dark Between the Stars, which was a poetry collection by Atticus Poetry. I gave it 3.75 stars. Beautiful. I read it on my iPad. I enjoyed it. I loved it. There were some poems that really spoke to my heart. I ended up bookmarking like maybe 10 poems to look back at later. I enjoyed it. It was definitely very interesting. reading experience because it has pictures in there and like photography and stuff like that, and handwritten pictures of handwritten poems, and so I enjoyed that part of it. Definitely recommend it if you're looking for a poetry book and you haven't gotten into poetry. I think it's very easy to understand. The Don't You Forget About Me audiobook by Mihiri McFarlane, gave it 3.75 stars. I enjoyed it. I listened to it very quickly. I ended up having to get it on the Libby app because I ran out of audiobook hours. I did not expect myself to be finishing a audiobook in this challenge at all, but it's helped me a lot in my reading hours. Like on the days that I had 5 hours, I could just put it on and do other things. So that helped me a lot, and I enjoyed it. It was fun. The last 15-20% of it was really fun and really interesting. Definitely check the trigger warnings. You're not missing out on anything if you don't listen to it. And then I picked up Sakamoto Days Volume 1. Gave this one 4.5 stars. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I love starting new mangas, new animes. I don't know if this is an anime yet. Probably will be if it's not. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Very fun, very easy, very fast read. I also read Volume 2 of Sakamoto Days, and I enjoyed this one as well. Very fun, very easy to get through. I read them within like 45 minutes. I started Checkmate and I read 200 pages of that. I still haven't finished it. I will probably end up finishing it later because I'm still very interested in the story. As of right now, we're sitting on, I want to say 4 stars. I'm enjoying it. I love Ali Hazelwood's writing. Very not YA. I don't know why it was categorized as YA. A lot of feminism in there because obviously it's Ali Hazelwood. It wouldn't be an Ali Hazelwood book if it wasn't somehow attached to feminism. And then I finished A Million Junes by Emily Henry and I gave it 3.75 stars. I enjoyed it. I love Emily Henry's writing. She is my queen. I'm working my way through all of her works. I've read every romance novel that she's written, and I've read this one as well. I haven't read The Love That Split the World, and I believe there's another one that she has co-written with someone else that I haven't read as well. Love her writing, her banter, her relationships, the way the characters are so fleshed out. They feel real, they feel human, and they have flaws, and you get attached to them. And the story was beautiful, very heartwarming, very tender. I've never described the book as tender, but this feels very tender and gentle and whimsical and magical. This is magical realism, obviously. I've mentioned that before. I enjoyed it a lot. Definitely enjoyed it. Very different from her usual works that I read, the romance novels. So if you're going into this expecting something like her romance novels, that's not what you're going to get. So don't get your hopes up for that, but still enjoyed it. 3.75 stars, and that was the last book that I read for this challenge, which means I read 6 books this week. I enjoyed it. It was very fun, very interesting. Read very different genres, very different stories. I think my favorite has to be Checkmate as of right now. I also started, obviously, Assistant to the Villain, and I'm 2 hours into that. I haven't listened to any more of it, so that was also another. So I'm in the middle of 2 books after this. So really, technically, I've read 8 books in this challenge. So far, so good. 6 books done this week, which is crazy. I hope you had a good time spending this week with me and seeing how many books I get to read. I mean, honestly, we read a book that made me cry, 2 manga volumes, a book that was magical realism and has a haunted house and magic and stuff like that by my queen, the one and only Emily Henry. We listened to an audiobook that was very strange and something new, that was romance-ish, women's fiction type of thing. And then Assistant to the Villain, which is very funny. And then we also have Checkmate, which I'm enjoying. Like I said, I think probably Checkmate will be my favorite book of this challenge. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching if you watched all the way to the end. I appreciate it. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books and what your thoughts are over them. If you want me to do this again, let me know. Maybe next time I'll get 10 hours, 12 hours, and we'll see where that goes. Should I put up to 24 hours next time? Hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking around all the way towards the end. I hope you have the best day. Treat yourself to something nice, and I will see you guys again next week with another video. Goodbye.